What's up, everybody? We are here. I was gonna go outside, but man, I don't feel like going outside. And I just finished smoking with my boy. God damn, I don't need to be smoking no more weed for at least another hour. Anyway, welcome everybody.
I was gonna go outside, but
oh shit,
man, I don't feel like going
in the
outside.
background. Pause it. Because I want to be over here in the chat tonight, over here on YouTube. Usually I'm on my third party chat. Now I want to be over here on YouTube. Seeing what the chat's saying over here. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Is my audio clear? Let me know if I'm too far away from the mic. Let me know if I'm too far away from the mic. We're going to talk about it tonight. We're going to talk about it. Help preserve Black music history. You'll see a donation button at the bottom. That's what we're doing for the Black American Music Family Tree Historical Foundation. It's my foundation. Cataloging all the good music history and all that stuff. So that's what we're doing right now. I appreciate y'all for joining. This is what we're going to do. We're going to talk about this Trump shooting at the White House. The suspect is from Torrance, California, which is about 7 miles from where I am now. He's from an area that I was just in a couple hours ago, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Pope telling Africans, stay your ass home. We're also going to cover what's going on in South Africa with South Africans turning on South Africans. And then we're going to end it with the largest portion of the show we're going to talk about was what the FBA critics miss. And I'm starting to think it's one of two things. And I don't want to be disrespectful to any critic because everyone has a right to their criticisms. And I'm not going to take any personal shots at anyone. But I'm starting to either think either people are being intentionally obtuse or they're retarded. It's starting to get to that point because FBA's been around long enough for people to get what this thing's about. So I'm starting to draw that conclusion. Either people are being purposely misleading or they're retarded. So we're going to talk about that. But what we're going to do is we're going to get started in about like 1 minute. We're going to start like in like 1 minute. I got to go close up the door over there. And yeah, let's get it going. Let's get it in. We'll get started like in 1 minute. All right, let's go. What's up, everybody? get into it. We're gonna first, let me change this groove up. We're gonna start off with what I didn't plan on talking about, and welcome chat room. Thank y'all for joining. Appreciate everybody for joining. My man Breeze Omega here. I ain't seen Breeze in a minute. What's up, Breeze? What's up, Markeith? What's up, G? Street Nasty Entertainment, US Blues, Rafi, Miss Pamela, Mogul Maze. What's up, y'all? Solani Tiana, Tanya. I said Tiana. Tanya. What's up, Remy? If y'all want to be mods, let me know. I'm still going through the demodding process of people who aren't coming around anymore. And I'll be remodding some new people. So if you want to be a part of it, let me know. What's up, Zafira? What's up, Kendall? This Trump story was actually sent to me by Kendall right as it broke. Sorry, Kendall, I didn't text you back. I was with Reggie getting high. But let's break it down. Let's get into it. What's up, Mark? There was a shooting today at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. For those of you who don't know what that is, the White House Correspondents' Dinner is where people get together, and it's basically a roast. It's a stiff-ass roast. And I was actually looking forward to this. I like the Correspondents' Dinner. It's the one time a year that you get to see somewhat of a personality from these politicians. There's a whole bunch of rusty-ass jokes, some of which are funny. And Trump is an actor. He's a great performer. Always remember this about Trump. Trump is an actor. He comes from the acting. He comes from the make-believe world. And so I think he would have done a pretty good job at this roast. Well, apparently, allegedly, what happened was this guy came in, ready to shoot the place up. I'm looking for the video. I thought I had the video up. I don't. I thought I had the video up. Here it is. This is a video of Trump being rushed off stage. Let me see. This is the commotion. Oh, you heard the gunshots. Oh, look how ghetto these people are. Look how ghetto this shit is. Look at this ghetto ass event. Did y'all hear the gunshots? Chat room, did y'all hear? Let me know if y'all heard the gunshots. You heard pop, 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 pop. Did y'all hear that? Is the audio good? You're going to hear the pop, 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 pop. And then you're going to see all these ghetto folks pause and freeze. What's wrong with it? Where are the fathers in the community? Look. This is like the scene on Boys in the Hood. Y'all remember when Ricky got bumped? When it was on Crenshaw? He was like, "What you looking at, nigga?" And then Ricky came with the worst response ever in movie history. "I don't know, Vigor." And then dude pulled the gun out and started shooting. That's this shit look like. Let's watch it again. So that's what happened. They stopped the music playing and everything. So you see that. And they identified this Chris Broussard looking nigga as the shooter. Let's listen to what they have to say.
Tonight, shots were fired during the annual White House Correspondents' Dinner. Within the last half hour, ABC News has now learned the suspected shooter has been identified as Cole Allen, a 31-year-old man from Torrance. Right now, he is in federal custody. Thanks for staying with us after basketball. I'm Liz Nagy.
And I'm Jory Rand. That suspected shooter made it inside the Washington Hilton, but never made it into the ballroom itself, where President Trump was seated on the dais at the time the shots were fired. The president said tonight a Secret Service agent was shot, saved, he says, by his bulletproof vest. Here are the dramatic moments. The shots were heard and the Secret Service rushed the stage to secure the president and vice president.
Just ghetto. Just ghetto.
You could hear shouts of "stay down there." The Secret Service quickly secured the president, vice president, and other top officials who were in attendance tonight. The event was canceled eventually. The chief of the Washington, D.C. Metro Police Department reporting tonight the gunman was armed with a shotgun, a handgun, and multiple knives. And there are questions tonight as to how someone armed like that was able to make it that close to the president of the United States.
President Trump also posted this video to his social media page showing that suspected shooter sprinting through the lobby of the Washington Hilton right past law enforcement officers who then pull out their guns and eventually take him down. Now, tonight's annual dinner was significant. This was the very first time President Trump had attended the dinner as president during either of his terms. President Trump was clear he wanted that dinner to continue after the shooting, but the Secret Service deemed it too dangerous.
Here's what I don't, this is what I don't like. What's up with all this fuzzy camera shit? Come on now. My Ring camera's better than this. Hey, people, news. Can y'all stop it? Most of America has personal home devices. And when we go and hear some shit and we pull out our phones get HD quality 4K level recordings. Media, can y'all stop doing this shit? We know y'all got better recordings. This just makes us suspicious when you do this. If they don't get this old 1987 VHS tape ass images out of here on a goddamn 10-inch screen, what the fuck, man?
And it was called off. President Trump was quick to promise the dinner would be rescheduled within 30 days. He held a news conference at the White House just a short time ago, calling on Americans from both parties to resolve their differences.
Now, the president calling this an attempt on his life, but we do not know the motivation of this.
So there you have it. What did I say from this very channel? We were just talking about it last week. I gotta go back and edit my video I did on New Year's Eve when I said this is the 10 of Hearts year. Chat room, what did I call this year? I called it what? The year of the fade. This is the year of direct physical confrontation. That's what the 10 of Hearts signifies. And if you've been following this channel the whole time, you've been prepared for what's going to happen this year and how it's going to happen. Physical violence, direct confrontation, or resolution. But last year was exposure. This year is dealing with the exposure. Handling that exposure for once and for all. Put up or shut up. Direct fades. Have we not been talking about that all year? Yeah, that's right, Funky Elmo Savior. You see, we've been saying it. This is the only channel on YouTube that reacts to this kind of stuff, and we tell you what's coming. Hell, not to pat myself on the back. Nah, I'm just playing. But hell, this channel be more on point than the metaphysical channels. And this ain't even a metaphysical channel. I do talk spirituality, but name the non-spirituality channel that told y'all this 10 of Hearts year. And what do we say also? As we get into the spring, into the summer, is going to get more confrontational. What season are we in right now? The spring. I'm only saying. The cards were not only right, but they've been right down to the season of the year. So the last thing I need is somebody saying, I don't believe in. I respect what people don't believe in, and I don't ask that you believe in anything. The only thing you're supposed to believe in is what's right between your two ears. believe in yourself. But we do use the cards to tell the temperature of the social climate. And that's what the playing one of the many great things that playing cards are good for. Forecasting the temperature of the social climate. So we'll see what's going to happen. We'll see how this is going to turn out. But this guy is from Torrance. And he look like Chris Broussard, don't he? I put this up earlier. Don't that nigga look like Chris Broussard from ESPN? Now, LeBron is going to win another MVP because LeBron might be better than Jokic. And LeBron, we all know Chris Broussard. Don't this nigga look like Chris Broussard? And we'll see what's going to happen with the Lakers because when the time comes for the NBA draft, LeBron is going to want his second son, Bryce James, on the team because LeBron don't. That nigga look like Chris Broussard. So we'll see how this turns out. We will see how this turns out. And he's from Torrance. He looked like he had, I don't know what, I don't know what his lineage is. I don't know what his lineage is, but I'll say this. He's from Torrance. And Torrance is right down here. I was just in Torrance earlier today. This is Torrance. He's from Torrance. Torrance is mostly white. It's still very white. It's one of the parts that has not, most white enclaves in Southern California have been taken over by Asians. Like Palos Verdes down here. I was in Palos Verdes earlier. Me and the wife went on a little scenic drive. Me and the wife had dinner over here at the harbor at a seafood spot. Then we went on a scenic drive around Palos Verdes. And most of what's over here has now been taken over by Asians. This is Palos Verdes. This is where me and the wife was earlier. And most of this has been taken over by Asians, especially down here. Torrance is one of the parts of white America that's still white. Redondo Beach is still white. Hermosa Beach is still white. And Torrance, for a long time, is one of the few cities in LA that the police department had a higher rating than the fire department. And so you know if the police department has a higher rating than the fire department, then you know exactly what time it is, right? Torrance, where they have the Delamo Mall. Farmers and Merchants Bank right there. Yeah, so he's from down here in Torrance, which is a very white neighborhood. It's not comfortable for black people. They don't like us down here. But that dude looked like he mixed with something. But if he blacked and he was raised in Torrance, I can almost guarantee he was called a nigger a few times by his teachers. Can almost guarantee that. So this is where he's from. So we'll see. We will see how that turns out. We will see how that turns out. Next story. Let's get on to the next story. The Pope. Pope Leo urges Africans to stay home. Whoa. See, and we're gonna talk about this when we get to the main topic. This is gonna circle back when we get to the main topic. We're gonna circle back to this point when we get to the main topic. And this is why delineation matters. And I'm not mad at this by the Pope. I'm not mad at this. The Pope said, it says here, Pope Leo last Friday urged African youth to work towards improving their own countries rather than migrating elsewhere in search of better opportunities. The leader of the Roman Catholic Church directed his remarks to university students at Catholic University of Central Africa, the capital of Cameroon. He said, in the face of understandable tendency to migrate, which may lead one to believe that elsewhere is a better future, may be more easily found. I invite you first and foremost to respond with an ardent desire to serve your country and apply the knowledge as you are acquiring here to benefit your fellow citizens. I noticed a lot of people who have an issue with delineation didn't even bring this up. And you know what? The Pope is right. And I know that's a bitter pill to swallow because we're supposed to be the country. We're supposed to be saying, everybody needs. No. The reason why America has the labor laws that it has, the reason why America has the quote unquote freedoms that it has, is because the people who were most abused by America decided to stay home and fight America and demand liberties that weren't given. Liberties are taken, not given. Infrastructure is built. It doesn't come out of nowhere. When we look at the luxuries of America, from the running toilet to the doorknob to the refrigerator, these were all inventions that were created by people who decided to stay in America and not run. The Black diaspora, the African diaspora, the melanated diaspora needs a strong Africa for Africans. And that's just the truth. As long as melanated people are running around the planet and allowing people to chase them off their spots, we're never going to get a united diaspora. If Africa is good to Indians, if Africa is good to the Chinese, if Africa is good to Japanese, if Africa is good to Europeans, then Africa should damn well be good for Africans. Is that harsh, chat room? Like, do I sound like I'm being an asshole? Because I don't want to be. I respect Africans. I respect everybody. But this is just the truth. If the Chinese can set up shop in Africa, why can't Africans set up shop in Africa? If Indians can set up shop in Africa, why can't Africans set up shop in Africa? Africa needs to be strong from within. That's the only way Pan-African will ever work. That's the only way Pan-Africanism will ever work. Yeah, look what they did to Julius Malema. South Africans need to be fighting hard for Julius Malema right now. And that takes us to this topic over here. I saw Willie D talking about this, and look at what's going on in South Africa right now. It's a lot of fights going on between South Africans and Ghanaians and other people. Look at this.
The extent of going into hospitals and asking those who are not South African to leave regardless of their condition, it shows a lack of care and humanity. This is very serious. I urge everyone to watch the video and share your...
You have Africans, you have people from South Africa. Where is it? Here we go. No, that's here. That's this page. Where is it at? Here we go. I saw this video here earlier. This was hard for me to watch. This here was actually kind of hard for me to watch because I felt for the brother. But listen to what she was saying. This video's been going around the internet for the last week.
Can't watch this alone.
And I saw the good brother Willie D pushing back at this. And a lot of people are pushing back at this.
Some little fool.
Scared to death. What? All they know is violence. All they know, you that bad? Well, you can tell somebody they can't even fly into your city? Oh, that's right. It's not your city. It's only...
So what's happening is that there's a lot of pushback from Americans when it comes to this. Here's the thing. And this is what people are missing about immigration. And we're going to get to the FBA. And this is where we're going to get into the part about what FBA critics miss, because it's all the same thing. When people immigrate from one country to another country, they're immigrating for what reason? To advance themselves economically. Is that fair, chat room? Is it fair to say when people leave their country to move to another country, they're moving for economic reasons? Is that fair? Well, when you're dealing with people who are local, the reason why immigration exists in America and in other countries is to undercut the labor. It's to undercut the labor of the local economy. Keep wages low for the oligarchs that run these particular countries and bring in immigration to undercut the labor. To undercut the labor. And that's an issue for people in the local economy. Whether you're in America, South Africa, the Ghanaians did it with the Nigerians did it with the Ghanaians. People who are at home in their country are being undercut by people with lower economic circumstances coming into their country. That's a real fight. It's not to say, because what Willie D is saying, and what a lot of these critics are saying, they're saying, well, why don't you fight the white man? And I agree. You should be fighting them too. And out of all countries fighting the European, I think that we should give South Africa a little bit of grace here. But I think, and this is with respect to Brother Willie D, because South Africa is a country that has been pushing Julius Malema. And Julius Malema, outside of the United States, has been the person most ardent about fighting the white supremacists in their country. South Africa has been a little bit ahead of the curve when it comes in comparison to the rest of the countries in Africa on fighting the white supremacists. You could do two things at once. But sometimes you got to clean up house before you fight certain enemies. You have to clean up certain behaviors at home. And one of the behaviors that has to be cleaned up is the disruption of internal politics. That has to be addressed. You notice, again, none of these people who have an issue with what that lady said, none of these people addressed the Pope. The Pope literally said it first. And I'm not saying the Pope is pure and always right, but fact remains, change comes where you stand. And there's going to come a point to where people demand a better government. A government is only as good as its citizens. And there's going to come a point to where people have to demand this better government from their governments at home. They're going to understand what they say. No different than how I feel here in America with gentrification. People always like, you need to move. California's expensive. You should move down the South. Yeah, and the South is getting more expensive too. Everywhere is getting more expensive. You can't keep running. You got to live where your heart is. At some point, you got to stand up and dig your heels in and fight from where you are. And don't ever let people think that just because you black, you shouldn't say this. Black Americans, we have the absolute most standing to say this. If any group can tell people to stay and fight where they are, it's us. We are the group that has the most equity to say these things because we stayed and fought. And even after slavery, when we built up these towns and our towns burnt down, we still didn't leave and say, hey, that country treats us wrong. Let us go somewhere else and start a new life. Our towns from Wilmington to Mount Bayou to Detroit to LA faced riots, faced getting burnt down, faced eminent domain. But regardless of that, we stayed and fought. Yeah, even Cesar Chavez said that, right? Even Cesar Chavez said how, and he used a derogatory term, wetback. I'm not even gonna go there. But Cesar Chavez even said, you know, these people come over here and they undercut the price of wages. And that's what people are missing. That are being critical. And like the critics of FBA and they all come out on this intellectual, I'm so much smarter than you level of arrogance. But they missing this a crucial point. Listen to this right here. This is a channel that I was watching O'Shea Duke Jackson's reaction, and that dude Poetic Flakko did a reaction to FD Signifier, his takedown, a quote unquote takedown of FBA. And this is what you get when you're dealing with these people. You get people that when they talk about the FBA movement, they talk about xenophobia. They talk about the words. They call Tariq a pimp or a grifter. They try to make it on Tariq. They try to put it on the words that we use, but they never keep it on the business and the substance of what we're talking about. Let's listen to this and then we'll talk about it.
But we're at all ends of the globes, and it's important to connect with the diaspora. Like that's what like Hidden Colors was about, right? Where Tariq goes and he shows, yo, Africans exist here, Africans exist here, Africans exist somewhere in Asia, right? We're all over the planet, and it's important to connect with our people. But Tariq Nasheed currently, you can say, is an isolationist. So if you're an isolationist, does that interfere with how Hidden Colors is going to age to his audience?
He called Tariq an isolationist. Again, this isn't, FBA is far bigger than Tariq. We give Tariq the credit for lighting the spark. But the reason why the movement is big as it is because it makes sense. It's because people are hearing about it and it's matching our daily experience. So it's not about being an isolationist. They don't call Jamaicans that speak patois and Rastafarians and people who don't accept non-Rastafarians as isolation. No one sees a Rastafarian as an isolationist. A Rastafarian is seen as someone that's connected to their culture, right? No one would ever call a Rastafarian an isolationist. No one would ever call, any group that takes care of its needs first isolationist. So the logic is flawed. Let's keep going.
Now, Poetic Flakko is a Liberian American, and let me just give him a lot of props. He's a much more, and that's exactly true, focused on broader topics like the Pan-African world, even the 1804 version of the film, which was Haiti. And that's exactly true. It did focus, or those installments were deeply rooted in Pan-Africanism. It focused on global history of African people. It covered the Moors in Europe, ancient civilizations, the global African presence before Columbus. This is actually true. Now the latest installments.
So That right there shows the generosity that Black America has. People don't look at the Hidden Colors series and say, hey, Tariq, thank you for putting the diaspora up on game to our history. The Hidden Colors series is one of the most, it's probably the greatest documentary in Black American history as far as capturing our history. You notice people don't say thank you for that. I got it from here. They say, no, you got to do more. You have to do more. No, that's not enough. You have to do more. And my question is, first Hidden Colors came, chat room, when did the first Hidden Colors come out? I don't know. I didn't get into Hidden Colors to Hidden Colors 3. Then I had to go back. No, Hidden Colors 4, like right, that's right. So what year did the first Hidden Colors come out? Nobody ever says, well, Hidden Colors came out 15 years ago. Maybe we should take it from here? Out of all these critics, who's picking up the mantle? Okay, 2010, 2011. So that's 16 years ago. I mean, damn, if the brother did the documentary 16 years ago, where is the fellow Pan-African good faith? Where is the documentary and the fundraising from the Caribbean, from Africa, that's helping push things forward? Why are y'all putting it back on this dude to keep doing what he's already done? That's what I mean by being retarded. This is starting to sound very retarded. Chat room, is it just me?
Africans are not doing the same thing in their regards, in their productions about us. I think that's also true. But let's go to the next point.
Under the comment section of immigrant calling us racial slurs, right? Calling us tethers, right? The tether hairline, right? Now, they will say that tether is an actual description of an immigrant who come here to cosplay as a Black American. That's what they will say. But then they say tether hairline. Oh, tether babble. Tether this, tether that, right? Like you wouldn't say tether hairline if it was not a racial slur, right? If it was,
it's not a racial slur. See this? And even O'Shea has a big channel, so maybe he just has to be nice. But racial slur, that's not a slur. That's a description. That's not a slur. That's this thing. Like, this is what I mean by the retardation part. People aren't listening. People aren't listening.
It was a description for somebody who come here and cosplay as a Black American. Then like you would use it as.
This is the reason why it's used. Obama used black clout to become president only to legislate against Black people. And this is the thing that all these critics of quote unquote FBA are missing. It's the point of these people, Winsome Sears, we can go down the line. These politicians that are using Blackness, Kamala Harris, to get in office. Greens in the bathtub, but when it comes to policy, their policy is leaning closer to their immigrant background than it's leaning towards Black America. It's high time that we start calling this out more. Enough of these grown-ass men bitching about the term tether. Look at what they doing in Africa right now to people who they don't like. Where's it at? I'm gonna get to that video. But there's another video I was gonna play. Oh, this one here from Willie D earlier. Black people, when we have issues with people in the diaspora, we use the word tether. This is what South Africans are doing to tethers. And ask yourself this: are Black Americans doing this?
So unfriendly to your fellow Africans. To the extent of going into hospitals and asking those who are not South African to leave regardless of their condition.
This is how Africans handle their tethers. This is how other groups, they said they're snatching people out of hospitals
It shows a lack of care and humanity. This is very serious.
Look at this.
I urge everyone to watch the video and share.
While everybody's crying about us calling the term tether, this is how other countries deal with their quote unquote tethers, right here.
Your
Do we even have to break down how white America treated its tethers when they came to America? When the Anglo-Saxon Protestant allowed Germans to come, when the Anglo-Saxon Protestant allowed the Irish, the Italian, the Greek, the Dutch, when they allowed them to come, they made them change their names. No, your name is not Christopherson. Your name is Christopher. No, your name is not Drumpf. It's Trump. They made these people take the third syllable off their name. 2-syllable words. 2-syllable names in America. No 3-4-syllable names. No Hefstofferson. No, nigga, your name is Hef. They made them change their names, made them live in different segregated neighborhoods. America was mean. White America was mean to its tethers. Black Americans just crack jokes. Again, it shows the entitlement these people have. Because your own country will go way further than jokes if my black ass went there. Can we tell the truth?
It's defined. The minute you start to use it outside of the actual definition and description, it then becomes a racial slur because you're using it to dehumanize somebody.
It's not dehumanization. The term tether is not dehumanizing nobody. It's an accurate description. The same way when we use the word coon is an African, or a bootlick is a description of a type of black person. Nothing wrong with immigrants, but a tether is undermining us politically and socially. A tether is destructive.
African businesses are at a few African braiding shops. I think it was boycott all African braiding shops. If you have a bad experience at one,
now they have an issue with us talking about boycotting our shops. America has a boycott on black businesses, even Africans. They don't come to us if they don't have to. They deal with each other. I'm tired of looking at this dude's ugly ass face. That takes me over to this dude right here.
So it's Tariq's favorite
I never
slur.
knew who this dude was, but he had this video with FD Signifier. And listen to what he's talking about.
The tethering, the cultural parasitism and tethering needs to be checked.
Sometimes he pairs it with anchored for extra spice.
He has slurs on the site, like the tether and the anchored tether. It's on the site, like
the anchored tether.
Anchored tether is what he calls it.
That's what's interesting. It reminds me of incels. You know, I have a lot of background with like the alt-right research and the alt-right and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And all of these alternative intellectual spaces that lean into toxic habits of, you know, harassment, conspiratorial thinking, antisocial community building, they all are built with the same general like structures and attract the same type of people, disaffected young men, with marginal social, economic, and, you know, romantic opportunities. Looking for community, looking for things to like subsume their identity into. And the development of jargon and coded language and things like that is actually really, really important and valuable to those spaces because it marks who's in and who's out.
And anchor baby.
So I wanted that to play in totality. He said disaffected young men that are incels. Tariq is not an incel. He literally conflated that with like Nick Fuentes. I'm married. Hell, for those of you coming to the museum for the museum comedy show, every time I host a museum comedy show, there are a lot of married couples in there. People don't look socially awkward at all. And people who aren't married, I see a whole lot of hooking up and getting together. What's up, Swarthy Nerd? I ain't seen you in a minute. What's up, Swarthy Nerd in the chat? Like, what they do is they draw these general blanket statements and try to fit people into that. And if you watch this video, they're having issues with the words that are being used. Again, this is not a serious conversation. These are people who are trying to sound serious. They're trying to talk slow and sound smart, but they're unserious because if you notice, it's straw arguments. They're having an issue with terms, slurs. You sound exactly like white people. Okay. Not everything that these people say is wrong. It's like most things they say, it's like anything else. Not everything any group says is wrong. You got to listen to the substance of what somebody is saying and not who's saying it. Anchor baby is a term that was very popular in the 80s and the 90s. They're making it seem as if it's a slur. No, if you watch chat room, press number 1 if you was around. Oh, what's up, Kendall? Kendall, sit up in here. What's up, Kendall? Make sure I hit the like button. Anchor baby was a very, very popular term in the 90s. And what it did was it was a label for people who will come to America to have a child so they can stay here and anchor themselves and get the benefits of being an American citizen. This is a fact. This was regular news coverage in 1993. California had a whole Proposition 187, to deal with this issue. This isn't something that was just made. It's a thing that people do. See, here's the thing with words. Words, when used properly, describe actions. They describe types of people. And words in a vacuum are not bad nor good. They're neither. Words take on the energy of the people who are saying the words. But the emotional reaction generally comes through propaganda. An anchor baby is literally, an anchor is somebody who's drawing the delineation between somebody who moved here to be constructive citizens and those who moved here to get rights and to get things. There's some people who go through the legal paperwork in the process to become constructive citizens. And then there are other people who want to cheat the system and say, let me go over there and have a baby so I could take advantage of these laws and cheat the system. That's all the anchor thing was a description of. And it's a fact that people do it. People talk openly about it within immigrant communities. There are whole systems set up with that. I remember, I think it was 2010, 9, sometime around there, 8. It was this Persian dude, this Persian cat that I know. He was trying to get me to marry his cousin, and they was gonna pay me 60 grand to marry her. And then they were like, we'll pay you total we'll pay you 60 to get married. And then after you've been married for 2 years and she gets her paperwork, we'll give you another 60. And I was just like, nah, I ain't doing all that. I'm good. You know what I mean? I wasn't doing it. But they were like, yeah, and if you have a baby with her, I was like, no, just fix my card, Joseph. And yeah, no, not doing that. But they would sit, I remember the Persian homie literally told me that they had a whole system that they would do that. And then they would come here anchor themselves, get a baby, get pregnant, and then they would leave and come back under a different name. And each time they came back, America gave them bread. So these guys are literally arguing about over something that's true. Now, you may feel a certain way about it, but the last time I checked, we're adults. We're men. And men shouldn't get hissy over feelings. Men should be able to talk beyond feelings. Listen to this part.
You know, Wes Moore, his family's Jamaican.
Hold up. Wes Moore's father is fully descended from American slavery and likely died due to medical discrimination.
Now he has an issue. This is him talking about when we talk about Wes Moore. Now, mind you, this is the same Wes Moore that voted that said black people shouldn't get reparations, right? These dudes, Wes Moore tried to veto a reparations bill in Maryland. This is what these guys miss. The whole point of the tethering thing is we're getting people that are disrupting the internal politics of black Americans. And these guys, this Cam James guy, I never even know who he was. And these guys, they're so smart. They're so high and mighty and educated. And people who push FBA are so incel that you guys are missing, and not either you're missing the point and being intentionally obtuse, which I don't respect, or you're retarded. Listen to this verbal jujitsu dude just tried to play right here.
Home ownership, education, and food security. End quote. Politicians lie all the time, so we'll see if he follows through. But the headline here is that he's not this non-FBA tether holding us back from a check that was never coming.
You know, Wes Moore, his family's Jamaican.
Hold up. Wes Moore's father is fully descended from American
slaves. That means the Caribbean, which means a different system than what we're dealing with here in the United States of America.
In slavery, and likely died due to medical discrimination.
So they don't have the same.
He said likely died due to medical discrimination. That's just like, you don't know that. You didn't, huh? You just threw that in there.
Generational trauma, the direct connection to the reparations claim, the ancestral ties here.
And his grandfather fled the country after his great-grandfather was targeted for lynching. His mother is half Cuban and half Jamaican.
So that's the anchor. That's literally the tether part. Half Cuban, half Jamaican. Wes Moore's mother is half Cuban, half Jamaican.
They can easily dismiss or deprioritize our policies without any type of internal conflict.
Wes is half FBA. Tariq lied.
So that's the point. See, that's the thing. These people don't understand dual lineages, and they don't understand how this works. The same thing with how the mulatto was used. The half FBA is used the same way the mulatto was used during the 1800s and 1900s. Dual alliances, dual allegiances. These people, you get the culture of your mother. So Wes Moore's mothers, these people don't have the same fight. They have somewhere to go. And there's no disrespect to these people. But they don't have the same fight with this country that we do. And Wes Moore literally vetoed reparations. And what they do with legislation that our ancestors fought for is they dilute it. Obama diluted it. He gave all of our stuff to LGBTQ and immigrants. Why do these people keep ignoring the pattern of what people with dual lineages do politically to Black America? And that's why we got to say what we have to say like this. If you ever want to go at these people have issues with Tariq. These people have issues with Black Americans standing up, because I was having this phone conversation earlier. I don't know if Kendall's still in here, but we were having this conversation earlier where it's just like there are people who, when they talk about Black people, they're the first ones to say, we have no culture, right? Right? They're the first ones to cast these aspersions on us and say these things about us. And it's like they don't respect us as a people. They don't respect us politically. They don't respect us politically. And they're the first to say
there
we have
it
no
is.
culture.
So you heard it.
It's a major issue.
Approach this.
So I don't call myself a Democrat.
Let me see if I can find this part here. I'm looking for a part.
This video, take a break, go get
Salute
some
to Chase.
or their descendants.
He did a good.
Is because of their lived experience.
FBA people will make you think.
I would say that's weird activity, FD Signifier.
See here.
Black Americans, the original Black Americans.
Okay, this is enough, family. I think we ain't known for being outside. This nigga ain't known for leading nothing outside,
Chase,
no events, no
I love this
nothing.
channel.
He's known for making online think pieces, which is cool.
Let me see here.
But then to turn around and call a group of people online weirdos, you do nothing but gossip.
Man, we don't need to be on no ADOS, man. We need to be Pan-African. That's what Pan-Africanism is. Us fight for everybody else to come over here and get some of the resources that we've helped accumulate for them, and then they turn around and say, okay, thank you, Wakata, and I'm about to go work with these white people.
Back then, Tariq was in.
There's so much to unpack there. Fucking tragedy. Let's first steel man where some of this comes from and talk about that term Akata. A term I literally, my entire life, I just told y'all I grew up around Nigerians. I have never heard that term my entire life.
He didn't fight what Tariq said. He just said, I didn't hear the term.
Life, in real life. I've never heard that term my entire life. I am 43 years old. I grew up around Nigerians. I hung with Africans, dated the baddest Sierra Leonean chick at my school, at Clark. Never got hate from Africans in any form or fashion. I'm not saying it don't exist.
Okay.
See, it goes down to, okay, what did I say about Hassan Campbell last week? You got to watch out for these people when it comes down to who they dating and having sex with. That's when all the stuff gets thrown out the window. This isn't about who you date. This is about how people react and act politically. That's what this is about. And we see it when it comes to jobs. I told y'all before, I have a homeboy who used to be a recruiter for Twitter, back when it was called Twitter. And he's still a recruiter. He makes a lot of money as a recruiter. He's somebody that companies hire when they need their diversity quota of Black folks. And he told me at a couple of the companies he worked at, I'm not going to tell you which one because I don't want to get sued, but I will say he once recruited for Amazon. He once recruited for Meta. He once recruited for Twitter. He once recruited for Microsoft. And I'll tell you, in a couple of the companies, I'm not going to tell you which ones, more than one, but he said that he would get bonuses when they had a Black quota. He would get bonuses if he were to get an African over a Black American. Not because the African was more intelligent and more skilled, but generally because the African will work for lower wages and they won't push back as hard at discrimination. And I've heard this from recruiters directly. They're told to prioritize non-Black Americans. And then go back to Essence Fest, when you get someone like a Rachel Dennis to come in and take over something like Essence Fest, what happens? He only hires other Africans. Nobody that has an issue with FBA is dealing with this point. The question is, why don't anyone deal with this? Nobody's willing to deal with this point right here. This is a major issue. A major issue. It comes down to dollars and cents. But the fact is, people have an issue with us talking like this is because they don't respect Black Americans. That's really what it comes down to. It comes down to a lack of respect. We are supposed to be everybody's mule. We are supposed to be everybody's mule. Oh, cool. Appreciate the $25 donation to the foundation. Make sure y'all continue to hit the button right there. Donate to the foundation. Black American Music Family Tree Historical Foundation. Protecting, preserving Black American music history and Black American music culture. So this is what the critics of FBA miss. I'm going to open up the phone lines now. I'm going to open up the phone lines. And I want to know what y'all think. 323-705-5150, extension 800. What's up with this? Do y'all think people are being purposely misleading? Or are they just retarded? That's the question. Are people being purposely misleading? Are they purposely leaving out the political aspect and the undermining of Black progress politically and economically? Are they purposely leaving that aspect out? Or are these people just retarded? Gotta ask that question. See, my thing is, we gotta stick to that point because it's not about, when people keep it on, oh, you just hate or you're being xenophobic. They're missing everything. They're not touching the point of where these discussions are coming from. These discussions come out of economic self-interest. These questions are born out of economic self-interest and political self-interest. And if you study political science, in political science, they tell you all the time, you vote for yourself first. You vote for your family first, and then your community second. Then after your community, it gets to the greater needs of society. But you're supposed to vote your self-interest. What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
What's up? This is TV Guru calling from St. Louis. I'm Swarthy Nerd in the chat.
St. Louis, what's on your mind?
Nothing much. I wanted to speak on the topic. I speak a lot about like the little Negro nerds and like the ones who are like super educated. They always got like a problem with like Black culture. they think like black culture is like just the gang banging, the shooting, and all the negative stuff. That's what I noticed about these college educated like nigga nerds. Like they just have this test of despise for like black culture. They think that's the only thing black culture is. And I even noticed when you was on Culture United, and like I think it was FD. He said something slick. He said something like, "Yeah, you know how niggas be," and you sort of you ain't check them, but you sort of said like, "Well, you got to understand like your environment you live in. That's who the people who like attack you. Like if you live around black people attack you because like they were saying little slick stuff like about black folks, and I like how you like got at them with that."
Yeah, and it's crazy that because at the time, I never knew who FD Signifier was. I don't have a diverse palette on YouTube. I kind of watching the same kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So I didn't. That was my first time ever meeting him, ever seeing any of his videos. And then after, I was like, "Oh shit, dude!" I thought he was cool. Like he was very respectful. You know what I mean? He was cool. Mm-hmm. I didn't know nothing about him when we did the video, and I still, he didn't say nothing crazy about me. But I did saw that he did say some little slick stuff. But it's like, I'm used to that because that doesn't just happen online. It happens in our personal lives too. We know people we all know people who will be the first ones to say, "Well, niggas is the first ones that can't get along." I'm always ready for people like that in person, online, on stage, wherever I'm at. You know what I mean? But I didn't take anything extra that he was saying. Now that I'm seeing more of his politics, now I'm glad you brought that up. I'm saying that maybe there could have been more behind that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I peeped it. That's why I watched that episode because I saw him and then I saw you. I'm like, ooh, I know he's gonna say something slick.
Yeah, man. I had no clue he saw things that way until when I saw Brother Chase McGee. I saw his video doing a reaction, and I was like, oh, and then I saw Tim Black do a reaction. I was like, oh shit, I know you like, but he was still cool. I ain't got no issues with FD Signifier personally, but yeah, as far as this topic goes, the brother wrong.
Oh yeah, super wrong. Like, yeah, I saw that video that you was talking about, and like, ain't it like 2 or 3 hours? It's like a DNC documentary. Like, it just get you informed. So like, what the heck is this? Who had the time to do all this?
Right. It's like the biggest issues that they have is with names, and it's like, as Black Americans, we gotta stand up. We can't back down from that because everybody, you have to fight back. It's against the laws of nature to not fight back. You know what I mean? You have to fight back. The difference is when we fight back, we just crack some jokes. Other people, you saw how South Africa was fighting back. They was beating people's asses and pulling them out of hospitals. We ain't doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always give people like a warning sign. If you want to know if some slick stuff, the content you listen to, always go into the search of someone's YouTube channel and type in like FBA or Tariq or something. You'll find something slick.
That's real talk, man. But thanks for giving us a call.
All righty.
All right. Yeah, I do remember when he was saying like some little things about niggas. I'm like, no. We got black people. We have a culture, man. We have. You don't face what we've been facing and just take people's little pot shots at us. No. We got to give some consideration, and it's not making an excuse. It's about being considerate. It's all about being considerate. Like me, going back to when y'all was talking about, when y'all was trying to get me this, I won't say go at, but some people was talking about like, did you hear what Hassan Campbell said about, I like, look, I'm considerate of the fact that Hassan Campbell went through a lot of trauma. So I'm not about to really go at Hassan, like really talk about Hassan Campbell in the way I would go at somebody else who I know is just being an asshole. Hassan Campbell, somebody who's been through a lot of trauma, and he's shown his trauma here online. And I'm considerate of that, even when I don't agree with him. And I don't agree with a lot of things that he said. I don't even watch the channel like that, but I'm going to get to you 1 second, caller. But it's not about, sometimes it's not about agreeing or disagreeing. It's about knowing that, okay, that's that person's opinion. But, they've had a lot of trauma in their life, so I'm going to be considerate of their trauma and just allow their disagreements to stay over there, and I'm going to stay over here. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Sean, this is Antelope Valley.
Oh, Antelope Valley. What say mine?
big homie, I just want to say thank you for the information that you provide. 1, 2, thank you for keeping it a scenario where you can go in on somebody, but still keep it classy and still keep on the aspect of, man behavior. Like when you went on Rolling, bro, that was funny as hell. Like my whole family, was showing me the video that you was doing. And the thing is, it's crazy how the history can be manipulated very swiftly if you don't catch on certain cues. And I just want to say, big homie, thank you for being an intellectual from the West Coast. That's actually thorough, man. Like a lot of the times when you got people, because I noticed you got two things when it comes to the West. You got people that are from the lower bottoms that understand what's going on. And you got the bourgeoisie, Ladera Heights, Baldwin Hills niggas that far out of the loop.
No. We gotta correct that, because I'm from Baldwin Hills too now. I'm both.
Okay.
I'm sorry. But this is one thing I said about Ladera Heights, Baldwin Hills. Like my wife's from Ladera Heights. Her dad had enough money to move to Beverly Hills and to Brentwood, but he chose Ladera Heights because that's where you can be black, have money, and still have consciousness. They're very consciousness in Ladera. Now, where the issue comes in when you go north of the 10 freeway, when you go into the valley, when you go to the west side, when you go out there that way, where the people who live amongst the whiteys, that's where the issues come in. The people in Ladera, Baldwin Hills, even though they got bread, Baldwin Hills is just right down the street from the jungles. Ladera Heights is just right down the street from Inglewood. View Park is right down the street from the Crenshaw district. It's like, even though you got money, you still in that same ecosystem with the brothers who's struggling. So it's like you're not too far away. You kind of see what it is. The issue comes usually when people move to LA and they go out to them west side areas, or the ones who grew up in Orange County and shit like that. That's where the issue come in.
Got you. Because every time when I was trying to do any kind of business in that region, I'm trying to figure out, like, damn, why does it just feels so boule-ish with certain motherfuckers.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
And I know exactly what you mean, but you got to understand, most of the people who give you that, they're not LA folks. They're people who moved here with money. Like, one thing about View Park, man, like I'm telling you, like they Jack and Jill, they used to try to come for my wife all the time, and their parents was like, man, we ain't about to. You mean brown paper? What? No, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
you dig?
Man. Because and Dewan, I just appreciate the fact that you actually have historical context. Like when my folks said that he skipped over literally 2 presidents, and I mean Roland skipped over 2 presidents, and made it like Hoover came right after Woodrow Wilson. Hell no.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like that, and that's I'm glad you brought that up about Roland, because Roland did the same thing these cats do. They are dependent on you not knowing your history. They are dependent on you not knowing your culture. These cats, Flakko, Signifier, and the other guy that's talking, they only sound Roland Martin. They only sound smart when you don't know what you talk what's going on. Roland Martin literally you literally skipped over 2 decades of presidents to make a point, and it was just just a jumbled ball of bullshit. That's why I try to do my best just to really teach you guys the real history and tell you guys where to go and look, because the more we know, the less we got to worry about these people trying to get one over on us,
Yes, sir. And I appreciate you, big homie. I'm gonna get off your line. I ain't gonna hog up any more of your time. Like I said, big dog, keep on doing what you're doing. And for everybody that's listening, man, please understand that the more that you keep things in house, and the more the aspect where it's just a situation where you choose to control where your dollar goes, you choose where your attention goes, and whatever you choose to do locally, that's your business. These people be trying to force you to make a position. You say, man, well, fuck both sides and mean it. But I respect you, sir. Thank you.
Real talk, man. You have a good one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. It's these, like, knowledge of self, like knowledge of self, knowledge of culture. That thwarts all this BS, and that's why we have the Black American Music Family Tree Historical Foundation, to where we could teach this stuff. We want to teach this. We want to get the information out there. Hey, what's up, Dana? Call us back, Dana. I saw you just call. But you know, you don't fight people. That's why I'm like, again, I'm not gonna go in on FD Signifier. Like when we were on Culture United, I thought that the brother was very respectful. I thought he was cool. So I'm not about to sit here and look at this shit. Fuck you, Twitter. Twitter just said, look at this warning Twitter just put on my account. It says I have sensitive comment about violence. Twitter just flagged my post. Man, fuck y'all. This is the post that Twitter just flagged. Y'all see that? They flagged this post when I said the shooter looks like Chris Broussard. What the fuck,
I think
Twitter?
a lot of these tethers,
they literally flagged this post. And he do look like Chris Broussard. I stand on that. What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
This is Donald calling from Los Angeles, man.
What's up, Donald? What's on your
how you
mind,
doing?
brother?
Oh, yeah, it's crazy when you speak about these tethers. I'm going to say, to be honest with you, they be doing this on purpose to dodge that accountability because they know deep down inside that they are tethers. And a lot of them, and some of them is working for, unfortunately, working with the white man, not to be a conspiracy theorist. And you do got some that's oblivious to it because they too busy worrying about their own and what's got going on. Just like your boy Flakko, he don't like the term tether because he basically tethered on to the gang banging culture in Los Angeles just to get to where he at. You know what I'm saying? Like, first he was working with Dr. Umar Johnson, then he went to No Jumper and started working with, you know, AD and the community and the FIG community and all them folks. And then when they left, he basically started working closely with them. And then once he got to where he wanted to go, that's when he started talking down on the black people in Los Angeles and the gangsters, trying to somewhat spark a race war between the Mexicans and the blacks. Basically saying that he'll help the Mexicans kill off some of these black gang members or whatsoever. You know what I mean? So he don't like that because he's already a certified tether. And there's a lot of tethers that do have those same type of remarks when it comes to black Americans. They just don't want to accept. You know what I mean?
Up a good point. Before you go further, then hold your thought. Cause I just want to comment on something that you just brought up. I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you for the call. You brought up the fact that Flakko, that's a dude, for those of you watching, this dude here, where's he at? This dude here with the funny looking lips and the wide forehead. He brought up he started with Adam 22. When I started, that's where he really blew up, with Adam 22 and No Jumper, and dealing with the lowest degenerates that black people could ever produce. He went on to that show and he got his start a lot like academics, really covering the degeneracy within black America. And that's why I don't understand the kid gloves, because I like OJ, and O'Shea Duke Jackson, he can have whatever point of view he wants to have. I don't care. He's a grown-ass man. But a lot of people are handling Flakko with kid gloves, saying that, oh, no, he's cool. He's this, he's that. I like his content. I'm telling you right now, I don't like his content. He's a diva. He's a gossip queen. He's a dude that goes around highlighting the worst of black America and then saying that these gangsters that are on Adam 22, they're what's wrong, and this is what black America needs to fix, and he's Liberian. How in the hell the fuck? Every community has gangsters and everything. And as long as you live in gangster-ass America, gangsters are going to exist across all races. And I don't agree with the gangsterism. I don't agree with a lot of the shit, especially Adam 22. But he's just like academics and use that as an example for how black people are. This dude is a problem. He's a cancer. Now, I'm not against him snitching out. If these stupid ass gang members want to tell him stories and he want to call them out, that's their business. But one thing I don't, and that I'll never stand up with, is when you use those people who are on the fringes of black society and you use them as an example of what's wrong with black society. Hell no. What's wrong with black society is every time we build something, we have an American system that takes it out within a generation or two. That's what's wrong with black society. And you got cornballs like this who don't know how to research and find that shit out. And so, yeah, we as black Americans, just because you may like a couple reaction videos this cornball does, we can't be treating this dude with kid gloves. Hell no. But go ahead.
No, I was about to say, no, like you said, the academics, he basically admits that he wants to be the next academics. Like, he basically called academics his father, so he basically trying to be a part of that academics family tree. But this is how much of a tether he was. The dude American Cholo, him and the gang of Latinos pulled up on No Jumper for exposing him for the racist stuff. He wasn't even up at No Jumper. And the Crips, one of the Crips AD had to talk to the Mexicans to get off his ass. Excuse my language. And not only that, he also paid for protection from the Long Beach Crips at one point for people to keep their hands off. So he openly admitted that. So he started rolling with No Jumper. He started being on street TV with Alex Alonso, the other podcast. So he basically tethered on the gang culture like academics did, which is like what a lot of these tethers do. But they don't like being called tethers because you basically tell them who they are and they don't want to accept it. And you can't tell a thief that they're a thief. So it's a lot of tethers like that. It's a lot of tethers like that does that on a daily basis. And they act like they're oblivious on purpose just to pacify you. Or like Flakko, when you start approaching him like that, he started using that term, I'm a civilian, so you can stay off. Because a lot of these new era civilian on the internet, they always try to get at the gangsters and use the civilian title just for them to stall them out, because you really don't get no points for beating up on those civilians. So now so that's basically what they do. They play a lot of mind games and tricks on you. But I don't want to hold you up because I know some other people got a call and they want to talk. That's what I just wanted to say on that one, man.
Thanks again, brother. Yeah,
no problem.
And that's why I don't honestly. That's why I don't respect a lot of these. Like I don't have much respect. Not all, but for a lot of these quote unquote gangster podcasts, because y'all will bring somebody like Flakko around. Y'all see what's happening, that DeJean Paul dude. What's up with these LA gangster podcasts bringing these weirdo cornball niggas around? This is a problem. Let me see if I can find that guy. This is the problem, y'all. Let me see if I can find that other one I wanted to show. Hold on one second, caller. Let me see. Where is that? Where's that other one? What was that dude name? This dude. I talked about him yesterday. Where is he? Where did he go? This dude right here. Y'all see how they're doing, and that same podcast, some of the same podcasts that was bringing Flakko around, they brought this dude around. And now all he's doing is going around and talking shit. He exposing text messages. And I generally don't fuck with anybody. I don't even if I don't like the person you're exposing, just to expose private text messages. And now this dude is going around saying he's gonna file a lawsuit because people were saying anti-gay stuff about him. It's the No Jumper. I mean, it's a problem. Y'all dudes, when I was a kid growing up in South Central LA, the sidewalk stayed on the sidewalk and the streets stayed in the streets. And the sidewalk dudes didn't get in street business. And matter of fact, street dudes wouldn't even let sidewalk dudes in the business because Why would you tell this sidewalk nigga what you about to do? It was a clear line of demarcation between the two groups. But y'all, the street dudes on the internet is letting the corniest ass niggas in. And each time, them corny ass niggas come back against y'all. And we see these dudes, now this Flakko dude, he still be going on some of these quote unquote street LA podcasts. What the fuck is wrong with these niggas is my question. What's up, Carter? What's the name? Where you calling from?
Hey, brother, how you doing? It's different, man, from Illinois.
What's up, man? What's on your
St.
mind?
Louis, to be exact. Fuck Flakko. Fuck that weird-ass, mush-mouth ass tether. Fuck him. Shoot, I don't like him. Never did like him. He sound like a bitch. It sound like if you press him, shit, it sound like if you press him, he had that chocolate milk coming out of what they call that milk in that glass bottle. Bitch ass nigga. But yeah, but besides that, it comes to all these tethers. It don't matter what they say anyway. It's time for us to build up our own shit. You have your platform, Tyreek, Jason Black. A lot of y'all have your own platform. It's time for us to build more of our own platform around music. I'm ready for us to have like our own little music platform like Soul Train, but have it on YouTube. I just want to throw that idea out for anybody so y'all can start doing your own shit because we need platforms that kind of represent our own culture. And then, and plus not these other weird ass platforms like the NBA. You just saw Jokic get his ass whooped and they had their full roster. Jokic is over fucking rated. That whole and then got mad at the end of the game, tried to fight because you got your ass whooped. Like, man, it's just all this shit is a joke. They pushing these people in front of the shit that we dominated because they don't want us to be in front of it. And it's bullshit. And I'm tired of being on their platforms doing it. It's just all this shit. And like a big shout out to my boy Tyreek, boy. Like as soon as he said that shit about Bombarda being a fucking pioneer, which is bullshit because he said that his name was saying hip hop. Like he said some shit about him saying hip hop on a Channel News Network. I'm like, a lot of people was calling it hip hop. It wasn't just him. He was just the one on the Channel News that called it that.
Yeah,
but
man.
That doesn't give him the right to be a fucking pioneer. But that's his opinion. I don't know why he kind of flipped on that shit. That was kind of weird to me. I ain't trying to talk ill will of the brother, but that shit was weird as fuck to me. That doesn't make you a pioneer.
Yeah, I kind of want to stick to what we're talking about here, my man. But yeah, you're right about that, brother.
It's about tethers, though. It's all about the tethers, though, bro. It's just a lot of shit where I'm just at the point I'm getting tired of them. I'm ready for us to have our own shit, bro.
That's real talk,
That's what it's
man.
coming to.
That's real talk, brother, man. Thanks for giving us a call.
All right, bro.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Like, yeah, I heard Tariq said that. Only thing I disagree with Tariq on, not only thing, the main thing I disagree with Tariq on was after I had did my show on New Edition, Tariq did a show said New Edition is the greatest group ever. I couldn't even. I'm like, yeah, nah, brother Tariq, I love you, brother. That's my dog. Love him like a motherfucker, but no, New Edition, no. If there are 5 tiers of greatness of Black American music, New Edition's on tier 4, not 5. We not about to move the originals, the Shy Lights, the Manhattans, the Spinners, the Impressions. We're not about to move them to the side. The Drifters, the Drifters, no, we're not about to do that. The Four Tops, Temptations, Jackson 5, Isley Brothers. We ain't about to do that. New Edition I love New Edition, but let's tell the facts. They were a teeny bop group that was great to a single generation of people who were of a certain age during that time. Okay? Let's reel it all in. I love my brother Tariq. When Tariq said that, I'm like, no. You got no disrespect to New Edition, but New Edition was a teeny bop group that appealed to a particular generation. Not the generation before them, not the generation after them. Smokey Robinson and the Miracles appealed to multiple generations. Same with the Isley Brothers. We ain't about to do that, brother. And that's with love. What's up, Carter? What's the name? Where you calling from?
Hey, it's Dana calling from
Hey,
Pasadena.
Dana, what's up? What's up? What's on your mind?
Hey. Great broadcast tonight, brother. You hit all the points. What's his name? Oh my God, I had his name and I can't think of it. Oh my God, I had it. He's the one that said that in the '60s, America was ready to give us anything we wanted, and we wanted jobs and interracial sexual access.
Yes.
John Henry Clark.
Yes.
Okay. It came to me. Wow, it slipped. Okay, it came back. But what I want to say about, this broadcast and what you're saying about this, I'm familiar with Flakko, but not the rest of them. And it's like, why does it bother other people so much that we want to say that we're Black American freedmen? That's us. If we want to be FBA and anything else, why can't we be that? Why does there have to be shows built around our autonomy? It has nothing to do with you. We want to delineate. That is our superpower, and we're standing on it. And we're standing on it politically. You still are people. You guys, we are at the cookout. If you cool, if you be one, but we're going to say who we are.
You're right about that, Dana. See, here's the thing with it. We are the sauce. Like when you ask that question, it goes back to why everyone comes to our parties, why everybody imitates our music, why everybody imitates the way we wear our hair, the way we dress. Because Black validation is gold. It's the reason why Jack Harlow has to go around dressing like Music Snow Child. It's all comes from the same root. And people are empty without our validation, and all we have to do is just withdraw our validation. That's more than enough to make people freak out. And that shows that, and it also shows an insecurity in their position. If where I stand is on secure footing and secure grounding, I don't need you to shift. You know what I mean? So you got people like these guys and people like the unamazing Flukas, that dude right there. We've talked about. He has some more talk.
He's so emotional.
Yeah, he's too emotional. He sounds like a Southern belle. Like I don't know. Like, dude, you sound like a Southern hermaphrodite, but you ain't from the South. And and so you get these people. When I look at FD Signifier and that other guy that we was between them. All of these people have significantly larger followings than Tariq. I'm looking at this guy, this Cam Jones guy. I'm looking at his page. The guy who had the original, his page, 167,000 subscribers. Okay, so he has less subscribers than Tariq. But FD Signifier has 1.2 million. Amazing Lucas has like 700,000. Those are significantly larger followings than Tariq. They should be able to just...
But they're stuck in their silos, They're stuck in their silos. All they want to do is run to podcast after podcast and listen. They're not on the ground. They're not going to do anything. All they want to do is wait for their next orders and to listen and big up somebody.
Dana, they're not stuck. They're unwilling to put in the effort. Stuck is, okay, I'm trying, but I can't get out. I mean, if you got an issue with Tariq's museum, I get it. You have 2 million followers. Create what you think is going to work and just stand on that. What's wrong with that?
No, I have to hate on you. Because I'm not you. I come from a place where nothing ever went on, and I found a calling, and other incels like me listen to me, and that's what they're about. These people don't want to do anything. They just want to listen to other podcasters bitch and complain about their situation. Now, these Black Americans want to divide themselves and delineate, and it's divisive and it's xenophobic, and it's not. We're just saying, like any other culture, this is our culture.
Right.
Here in America. That's what we're saying. It's not harming anybody, and if it harms you so much, then don't interact. Don't engage.
Real talk. And I look at these people like I'm looking at it right now. The listeners that are listening to me, I got 500 people listening to me right now. Y'all have already raised $50 for my foundation. I could imagine what I would be able to do with my foundation if I have 200,000 people listening to every episode that I do. Do you know how many books I be pumping out? Do you know how many?
Yes, because I listen.
Do you know how much information I'd be pumping out and how much access? Like, I'm over here in my curriculum. I'm literally working with summertime's coming up. I'm literally working with after school programs and summer, getting curriculum and education with my less than 50,000 subs with YouTube. Like, I got 500 watching now, but it's like a cap on my channel. Every time I get to like 600 people in the live, some shit happened and I can like never cross 600 people in my live. Every time I get to my analytics get to 15, 20,000 people saw this video, something happened and I'm right back down to 3,000 people sending videos. Like, I got this glass ceiling on my channel that I'm never able to cross, it seems. But even with that being said, you, Dana, because you support, I got 64 Mark, he supports Bismarck T. I got all these people in here that support, and y'all give me enough to where I can stay on my mission and I can teach. You know what I mean? And so I don't have, I don't have tolerance for somebody that can garner an audience of 250,000 people. And the only thing you can give back is criticism of somebody else and not creation of what you can do. That's a problem.
Because anger feeds.
Yeah.
About nothing. These YouTubers hate on Tariq, and Tariq is living his life and doing him. He's not worried about who don't like him, who dislike him, how many shows you want to do, disliking him and then creating Twitter spaces that talk about him. He's not worried about that. But the one, if they shadow ban you, just, mess around with your platform. Have a TikTok, as your platform too. Just mess around with your platforms and you'll get exactly where you want to be.
We about to bring a lot of music education to TikTok. I'm gonna start doing TikTok 3 nights a week. So just because YouTube is like fucking up. Tonic Mitchell, I appreciate the donation to the foundation. Thank you. But yeah.
Well, let me get off and I'm gonna donate too.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, Dana.
You're welcome. All right. Bye.
Yeah, it's like I got this small following, but this small following that I have, man, y'all contribute so much, and I had $100,000 fundraiser up for my documentary. I was only able to raise 10, but with that 10,000 that y'all gave me, I finished the documentary. It's recorded. We just don't have the capital to really get this post-production thing right. But I'm funding that through the foundation also. Kevin, I appreciate the foundation donation. Thank you, Kevin. But I see what I'm able to do with this following that I have. I look at what Tariq does with his following. So to listen to people with followings that are 3, 4, 5 times as big as his complain about him, I'm just not one to sit around and complain, man. It's like, do something. Do something. One thing, I have all my criticisms of Roland Martin. Y'all know I don't fuck with no Roland Martin. But I will at least give Roland Martin credit with this. Roland Martin, with the contributions he's at least out there in the streets building something for the people who follow his ideology. He's doing things. He's talking to people in politics, and he's engaging with people and who think the Democratic plantation is going to work. For those who have that mindset that the Democratic plantation is where it is, at least Roland Martin is using his resources to engage with the people directly that fit his ideology. I don't agree with Roland Martin's ideology, but the least I can say is he has built his own thing for what he believes in. I could do nothing but respect it. Even though Roland Martin got a squared circle head. He got a box round head, and he sounds like Tweety Bird. And he has a bunch of dumb points of views. But at least Roland Martin is being constructive with his stupid ass point of view. I can respect that. I can respect people I disagree with that are still building to fit what their ideology is, because we're not always going to agree. It's Tanika. Okay, my bad. It's Tanika. My bad. Tanika. I used to have a manager at my old job named Tanika. My bad, Tanika. I'm gonna remember that because I used to have a manager at Washington Mutual named Tanika when I worked there. The Washington Mutual in Inglewood in 2000. The lady who hired me, her name was Tanika. My bad. Yeah, Antoinette, I can respect Iran fighting for their country, right? I can respect Iran fighting for their country. I can respect people who fight for their point of view, even when I don't agree with it. But I can't respect people who aren't willing to put their stake in the ground and say, this is what I think it is. Roland Martin look like he be picking his belly button underneath his dashiki, don't he? That's why I'm like, Roland Martin look like the kind of nigga that be picking his belly button while he live. That's why I can't fuck with him. But at least respect he tries to build something. That squared circle head ass nigga. Street Nasty Entertainment. What up? What's up, Clot? But yeah, so I want people to remember that, what we just finished talking about. I want people to remember that. It's okay to be critical, but what are you building? The reason why I created my foundation was because I see that there's a real dearth of historical knowledge that Black Americans have of our music. So instead of crying about how somebody else talks about it, time for me to do it myself. And that's what we do. But Bismarck T, earlier you asked a question. Bismarck T asked a question. He said, do you think Tariq said that about New Edition? Because he's the same generation? Of course, yeah. That's a generational thing. Like, Tariq is the generation of New Edition. If you were in middle school, high school in the 80s, then New Edition that was your shit. And if it is love, why do I feel this way? Why does she stay on my mind? It was teeny bop music. And if you were of that age and of that class, yeah, you're going to put New Edition near there. And I was a kid with New Edition. I love New Edition, man. I'm more of a Jodeci guy myself. Although Jodeci is my favorite group from my generation, I understand that although I think I'm going to take Jodeci above New Edition, personally. But I understand that, hey, that whole train got set off by the Temptations. And they got it from the Drifters and the Platters. And I understand what a 4-part harmony, how hard that is to sound like one voice. The Whispers. The Whispers are still touring, man. You can't put no damn New Edition above the Whispers. Come on. And the Whispers never broke up. The New Edition produced great individual talent, but even when we look at the individual talent, Bobby Brown had 2 very hot albums. Then he decided to marry Whitney and go to oblivion. BBD had 1 hot album. Johnny Gill 1 hot album. Ralph Tresvant, one hot album. They produced a lot of one hot album artists that had one hot album. Not even, I'm gonna say Johnny Gill, not even a whole album, just really hot singles. Because Ralph Tresvant didn't have a hot album, he had a hot single. Yeah, Can't You Stop the Rain isn't Teeny Bop. Okay, you just gave me an exception. But Candy Girl is. Candy Girl, you're my world. That's Teeny Bop music. Now, Can't You Stop the Rain, that's a good one. On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. But that's not possible. But come on now, Candy Girl, Mr. Telephone Man, that's Teeny Bop music, man. We ain't about to sit back. Somebody said motherfuckers are only named Scotty. That means you're musically ignorant then. Come on now. Scotty? Walter? You don't know about Walter with the big beard? I'm going to give you this song right here. This one song kills everything that New Edition was doing. Not just the harmonies, but the message too. House. Man, that song right there kill all of NWA, New Edition's catalog. A song about about human trafficking, about telling girls not to get caught up by niggas in Cadillacs. With that 5-part harmony, what? Rocksteady was bigger than any song the New Edition ever had. This is bigger. The Whispers were still making hits the same time New Edition was making hits, and their hits was bigger. Stop it. It ain't my fault y'all could be musically ignorant. Y'all better get into your music history. The Spinners had a top 5 album almost every year of the 70s. The Isley Brothers. Yeah, the Whispers never, man, shit. The Four Tops. We got a lot of great groups as Black Americans, y'all. We ain't about to elevate New Edition. No, we not. We ain't about to do that. We ain't about to do that. You want to break into the solo artist part? The Temptations. Eddie Kendricks. Come on now. See, what happens is y'all just remember them songs. Y'all don't know nothing about this right here. And these people make music that got sampled. See, the people who left the Temptations, they made music that got sampled. That's still getting sampled. What? Oh yeah, they're not. New Edition's not fucking with the Manhattans. No, they're not. They're not fucking. They're not fucking with the Manhattans. I'm about to just talk to y'all now. We done finished our topic. If y'all done, if y'all want to hear more, y'all can call in and ask questions. But shit, let's talk about some music now. We ain't about to do that. We are not about to do that. Blue Magic? You mean to tell me, man, look. I'm putting the Blue Magic ahead of the goddamn ahead of the New Edition.
Trouble speaking.
Dreaming of you. Did y'all forget what's come over me? Stop to Start? Did y'all forget? Did you forget Tear It Down? This not one teeny bop song in the bunch. Tear it down. Not one teeny bop song in a bunch. Come on now. Are we being serious? The Dales? Man, the 5 Heartbeats was about the Dales.
Honey, I love you.
Stay.
I really love.
Come on now. Always Together?
I first gazed upon you, I'd never let you go.
And it's amazing, baby. Come on now. What a Night? Come on now. The Dramatics? You ain't nowhere in hell I'm putting no New Edition over this. Forget the music that I grew up on, that it feels good because I was 10 when that song came out. We gotta be real. When LJ Reynolds, ain't nobody in New Edition singing like LJ Reynolds. Come on now. This part right here, that goddamn soulful? The fuck is we talking about here? Even Beyonce bit off the Dramatics. What's that Beyonce song she took that from? Ocean of Thoughts and Dreams? Hell, I might take Enchantment over New Edition. What y'all know about that? You gotta have a diverse black music palette. Come on now. Baby, it's you that I need. Come on now. Gloria. Harold. Y'all niggas are trying to tell me that New Edition is better than Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes? Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes gave you your first 4 on the floor disco song. Y'all know that? Come on now. Nigga, you had songs like Be For Real where they was...
Hey lady, can I say something to you for a minute?
Come on, you had Wake Up Everybody.
The world has changed so very much from what it used.
Come on now, what? They ain't no New Edition better than the Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes? No. Definitely not better than the Isley Brothers. No titty bop music. Brown Eyed Girl. Is there any New Edition song better than this? Did you niggas forget who the fuck the Isley Brothers are? Make Me Say It Again, Girl.
Whatever pains inside.
What are we talking about here? This isn't even a competition. The Manhattans. Man, this song right here. This is one of the most cheatinest, ain't shit ass songs ever. Come on now. You're talking about I Wish That You Was Mine. Come on now.
When I call you, I hear you.
Come on now. The Moments. New Edition ain't made no song this. I ain't new it. Man, look, man, we ain't even getting started. If you on my Patreon, that's my classic R&B list. I'm not even a third through one list. I didn't even get to the female groups. I'm not even a third of the way through one list. Come on now. Let's not ever skip past the 70s when it comes to groups. Ever. There's the 70s and then everything else after. Okay? The groups from the 70s can't be compared to the groups before or after. The 70s are in their own, in the 60s. The 60s and the 70s are in their own world. And Smokey Robinson with the Miracles. I can't stand to see you cry. I love you too much, that's why. What? Come on. What Love Is Joined Together? This is one of the greatest written songs ever. Listen to these lyrics. Wet from water and the dry from sand. Then for anyone to try to separate us, stop us from holding hands. Come on now, or what are we talking about here? What love has joined together? We ain't about to disrespect these lyrics. Don't let nobody take it apart. Bruh. Even the Spinners. Even the Spinners. You got the Rubber Band Man. Games People Play. One of a Kind Love Affair.
Said I'm leaving you, though I love you too. I can't stay with you.
Nah, bruh. We ain't about to have that conversation, y'all. We ain't about to have that conversation. We ain't about to have that conversation. I didn't even get to the OJs. Somebody said, what about the female groups? We're not dealing with female groups. New Edition is a male group. We talking about the male groups now. I didn't get to the female groups. That's another category. I'm only dealing with the male groups because New Edition is a male group. I'm only dealing with the male groups. New Edition ain't on none of their tiers. They made teeny bop music other than one song. We are not about to put a bunch of teeny boppers over a bunch of grown ass men singing grown ass songs about grown ass issues and grown ass scenarios. You mean you're gonna put New Edition above the Jackson 5? Even they. That's after they left Motown. Come on now. We ain't about to do that. And I didn't get to the bands either. I'm only dealing with vocal groups. I didn't get to the bands. The bands are a different category. You know, the bands are a different category. If you're dealing with Earth and Fire and War and those are bands. I'm not dealing with bands. I'm not dealing with female groups. I'm keeping the argument concise. Vocal group to vocal group. I'm not dealing with female groups and I'm not dealing with bands. I'm only dealing with the groups that sang harmonies. That's all we dealing with here. We keeping the argument short and concise. All right? And you can get all this music on my playlists that are on Spotify right now. But no. We ain't about to do that. We ain't about to do that. We are not about to, no. And I love New Edition. I love New Edition. But no. You ain't about to say, oh, because they had 3 people that went solo. You ain't about, no. Okay, we can put the mixed groups in. They're not better than Gladys Knight and the Pips. Come on now. Come on now. Y'all hear them chords? Come on now, and it's not that, it's just pop. It's not that it's just pop. We can go back to the 60s. Man, look. You know what else was pop? Them Temptations vocals.
It's just a
waste of time. Blow your mind. Come on now. Heavenly. No, we're not about to compare that to teeny bop music. We're not. Can't do that to ourselves, black people. We gotta have reverence and respect for those 5-part, 4-part, and 3-part harmonies the OJs and those groups sang. Yeah, they told a story with real meaning. We ain't about to disrespect them by elevating a teeny bop group over them. Hell nah. Nope. Nope. Yeah, I didn't even play the 5 stair steps. Nope. Nope. Yeah, real vocals, real vocals that are sang from the heart. You can't compare over the teeny bop sound. You just, sorry, can't do it. Tudor is levels to this thing, and when you get to the 80s and beyond, it's levels to this. They didn't have the artist development. They didn't have the budgets. There's a lot of things that they didn't have resource-wise in the 80s, and as you get to the 80s and beyond, when it came to Black American musical groups. So I don't criticize New Edition and those later groups, but it's just two different worlds of music. But you're not about to take some stepped on sound and say that was better than the ones who did it right. That's not going to happen. You said your grandmother passed March 30th? Condolences to your grandmother. Condolences to your grandmother. But now we gotta point the kids in the proper direction. That's why our respect for music history is so important. Like, I love this shit. It's a Telephone Man. I absolutely love that song. But it does not have the emotional depth of even Atlantic Star. You can't, like, you have this. That sounds good. You know what I mean? Love it. But it does not have the emotional depth as Chat room. Am I wrong for saying that? Both songs of the 80s. I love, and I'm again, no disrespect, New Edition. This is some hot shit right here.
The truth is in the
That's a different beast. That's a different beast we dealing with right here. Sounds good. But does that have the depth of See, Atlantic Star and New Edition came out at the same time. But only one is getting sampled.
let's get closer.
That got sampled by They can come closer than close. Original, they never will be. We bump it from coast to coast. Nobody does it better. How many New Edition songs have been sampled over the last 40 years? I'll wait. Yeah, Switch. I didn't even play Switch. I didn't even play Switch. I didn't even play Switch. I want to get closer to you, baby. Can you compare this? Come on now. I want to be closer to this. And I love Candy Girl, but come on now. Let's stop. Let's grow up. Let's grow up here. Let's grow up here. Let's grow up, okay? Yeah, New Edition got recognizable traps, but not recognizable to the point that people sampled them. Nobody came in to sample New Edition. And that's how you could tell the legacy of a group. Because the last 40 years has been the copycat era in music. And everybody, for the most part, skipped over New Edition to copycat. But they copycat the Whispers like a motherfucker. You're right. They would sound like the knockoff Silvers. That Candy Girl sound, that was definitely sound like a knockoff Silvers or a knockoff of 5 Stair Steps. I didn't even play the 5 Stair Steps. Most people only know Ooh Child, you know. You got, these were kids.
It's a world of fantasy.
Oh no, New Edition. They can get it. They can get them clear. It was the production, and that's not New Edition's fault, but that's not the group's fault. But the production, the '80s production was just cheesy, and it was time dated. That was just a very time-dated era. It wasn't the classical sound. You want to talk about impactful groups? Harold Melvin. This is the first song in disco that laid 4 on the floor. This song right here changed the world of music forever. This right here, all disco, all dance music, all house music, world beat, what we now know as dance music, is all born out of this. That beat, up hi-hat, 4 on the floor, right there. That's where it comes from. So even if we're talking about influence, we ain't about to skip past Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes when it comes to influence. She. Yeah. No. And if you think about it, with New Edition, when you get past Can You Stop the Rain, Mr. Telephone Man, If It Isn't Love, Cooler Now, Candy Girl, Is This the End? When you get past that, you really don't have anything else. Is this the end? How the hell can you put that past the Jackson 5? They were the same age. As the Jackson 5 when they were doing this. This the end is on the level of that? Do I think New Edition's vibe is copied in K-pop? This is what you got to understand. Yes and no. What you got to understand, and that's a great question, Brina West. What you got to understand is New Edition was copying the vibe of the Jackson 5. The Jackson 5 got a lot of what their swag from the 5 stair steps. The Jackson 5 borrowed a lot from the 5 stair steps. A lot from the 5 stair steps. Y'all know the 5 stair steps. They were the first child group to really, the Jackson 5 took, you know, if you look, even if you look at the album covers, look at the 5 stair steps album cover. When you listen to that right there, when you see that, the 5 stair steps, early Jackson 5 was a lot of that vibe. But Jackson 5 refined that vibe. And it's really the Jackson 5 that everybody's taking from, not the New Edition. Jackson 5. Jackson 5 is the root. Inspired by the 5 stair steps. And whether it be the Jackson 5 or the 5 stair steps, everybody wanted the Temptations swag. The Temptations is the swag. They're really the foundation of all of it. The Jackson 5 is like the youth version of the Temptations. Before the Temptations, you had the Drifters, the Platters, and those groups, that the Impressions. But it's the Temptations that really codified the pop, the black doo-wop pop group. Everybody wanted to be the Temptations. And it was the Jackson 5 who brought a youthful version of the Temptations. We gotta make that clear. And the reason why the group New Edition is named New Edition is they're literally saying we're the new edition of the Temptations. We're the new edition of the Jackson 5. And so what you're getting when you get to the New Edition, you're getting a carbon copy of the Jackson 5. So you can't say K-pop is taking from the New Edition, because New Edition was a complete ripoff of the Jackson 5. And the Jackson 5 was the youth movement of the Temptations. Okay? You got to go back to the root. And the New Edition is not a root group. The Jackson 5 is the root. The 5 stair steps of the seed. The Temptations is the soil and the water. Somebody said Temptation is your favorite group. No, Chief Colas. You got to understand this. This is an intelligent channel. I can separate my personal favorite from history. My actual personal favorite groups of the 60s is the Four Tops and the Miracles. I listen to the Four Tops and the Miracles more than I listen to the Temptations. I like the Dramatics more than I like the Temptations. But the fact that I like the Dramatics more than I like the Temptations, the fact that I listen to Smokey Robinson and the Miracles and the Four Tops more than I listen to the Temptations, does not remove from the fact that I can't be honest about the Temptations' legacy in the history. My personal group from the 60s is the Four Tops. I personally like the Four Tops more than I like the Temptations. And your boy Jay-Z like to take they shit, took they shit. Ain't no woman like the one I've got. I'm more of a Four Tops guy than a Temptations guy. But before you come to me talking about this is your favorite group. No, I'm just mature. And I can separate myself from the group that I like versus the group with the most impact. And the Temptations had the most impact. Okay? That's why you niggas need to listen to me and don't argue with me. Don't fight with me. I'm here to teach. Personally, be there with it. We're not about to have none of these regional fights, Midwest sound influence, both coasts. No, Black American music influences Black American music. There's no one-way direction where, the Midwest influenced that. Well, everybody had major influence. R&B doesn't even get to the Midwest if LA doesn't invest in it first. I realize for R&B got rooted in Los Angeles. Los Angeles was the first city to invest in this genre known as rhythm and blues. And it was Los Angeles' investment in rhythm and blues that made it popular enough for Chicago to then take over and become the hub of rhythm and blues before the hub of rhythm and blues moved to Detroit and then to Philadelphia and then back to LA. We ain't about to have no diaspora fights. Black America influences Black America. Sometimes the influence comes from the South to the North. Sometimes the North influences the South. Sometimes the Midwest influences the West. Sometimes the West influences the Midwest. It's all cyclical. We ain't about to fight. That's nothing we got to stop. Stop all this fighting shit. Yes, the South gets the credit for the gospel, but the first gospel hymn book came from the North. Philadelphia built the church and started doing church music before the South. We are a Black American family. Let's remember that. We are a Black American family of music, and we influence each other. All right? We are a family. Someone said Africa gave us the rhythm. No, Africa did not give us the rhythm. We count different than Africa. Africa, there some African rhythms scantly, but Africa doesn't count on the 2 and the 4 backbeat. Africa counts on the quarter note and the 1 and the 3. Their count and accentuation is completely different than ours. I don't think Black Americans truly understand the uniqueness of playing on the backbeat. Nobody else in the world plays the backbeat. America's actually, the United States of America, if we're going to tell the whole truth, music out of the United States is actually ass backwards. If we're just going to be bluntly honest. If we're going to be bluntly honest, a Black American music is ass backwards. This is only a foreign concept if you don't know how to count music, or if you never thought to count. Black American rhythms, the Charleston, the shuffle, the 2/4 backbeat, the funk rhythm, it's a different count. It's numbers, y'all. Numbers. Count differently. You can't say we have the same rhythm if we don't even count the same.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have any drums in it. Hear that? That's not a 2/4 backbeat. 2, 3, 4. Accent 1, 2. No snare, no hi-hat. We don't even use the same drums as Africa. They don't have air. We have a treble bass conflict in our music. And there's a lot more air in our drums. The hi-hat represents air. The cymbals represents the water. It's a completely different rhythm. No hi-hat, no ride. The function is different. How do I know? I play the drums. I've played African rhythms. We're talking about 2 different worlds of music. Completely different worlds of music. And y'all can argue all the shit you want. All I go back, only thing I'm coming back to you is with count, nigga. Count. Just count. You get all your answers just by counting the music. But I'm not going to argue with anybody that can't call out a time signature just through your ear. I can call the time signatures out and listen. Quarter note, constant pulse. That's an African rhythm. Let me give you an American rhythm.
She's here, Mr. Johnson.
Okay, thank you very much. Granny, they're expecting you. You're a little...
Does that shit sound like this? No, it doesn't. All you gotta do is count. American rhythm.
I slip to my knees cause I'm smoking, baby.
Hear the snare accent on the 2 and the 4? Show me your African rhythms that accent on the 2 and the 4. The key lies within the count. All you gotta do is count. The key lies in the count. Oh yeah, Brazilian music and African music most definitely use the same cadence. So does a lot of Caribbean music and African music. They use the same cadence, but Black American music is unique. It's odd. That's why I say, y'all ever notice when people who aren't American, y'all ever notice this? When other groups come to our music, they We'll be playing some. This is what we'll be playing. We'll be coming here with some. Let me play this. I'm gonna go back to Earth and Fire. I don't know. Here we go. We'll be sitting here with some. People be like. How many times have you seen that? Chat room. How many times have you seen that? We over here. This is what we grooving into. This is what we grooving to. People.
That's right, baby. I want all y'all to walk on over to the bridge.
How many times have you seen that? Chat room. Am I lying? Do people not do that when they hear our music all the time? Do people not do that all the time? Here we are. People do that because their indigenous music counts like that. They have to sit. Notice, even with Africans, if you notice, even Africans, when they fresh off the boat, I ain't talking about the ones who were born and raised in America because they were born and raised to our rhythm. I'm talking about fresh African immigrants, fresh Brazilian immigrants, fresh immigrants to the country, white or black or Asian or Latino. They all do the same thing. That's because that's the count of their music. We are the exception to where we wait. We don't. We wait. All you got to do is count. That's all you got to do. And the whole we took African rhythms blows away. That whole theory gets blown away by doing what, chat room, before we get out here? Doing what? Counting. All you got to do is count. Music is math, exactly. Yeah, our people stop and get on beat naturally because that's our beat. Antoinette, you're right about that. But the reason why we get on beat naturally because that's our natural beat. And the front beat, yeah, with the downbeat, right? The 1 and the 3, that's their natural beat. The reason why they're off with their counting is because they're trying to fuse their natural beat with our natural beat, and it's confusing at first. They got to sit back and wait and get it later. That's all you got to do. When they say we got African rhythms, is count. All right. Thank y'all again. But it was good talking to y'all, man. We got some good lessons in what FBA critics miss. You know, they missed the key point of what we're talking about. And that's the undermining of our politics with people who look like us. America using people who look like us to undermine our greater good politically. And these critics keep getting past that point. And until they address that point, then I'm going to look at them as clowns because they're not being serious. Address what we talking about directly and stop all this focusing on Tariq and this and that. And if you don't like Tariq's museum, then build your community center or whatever you think needs to be done if his museum isn't it. All right? Y'all have a good one. We out. Oh, Patreon. We're going to start our History of Jazz course on Patreon in 2 weeks. the history of jazz, a complete, detailed history of jazz. Join the Patreon, and then you can get all my other classes. We just finished the history of R&B. We just finished a 13-part course on a comprehensive history of rhythm and blues. Join the Patreon to go back and watch those videos, and join the Patreon so that we can be a part of the history of jazz. All right. Y'all have a good one. We out.